Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. This is video number 5 for my Motovlogging for Movember fundraising, which if you look down below, you'll see the donation button. And what Movember is, it is a charity that focuses on men's mental health, suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Basically men's health, and they fund men's health causes. So I'm trying to raise as much money as I can for the cause by the end of November. I'm going to do a video a day, and as I said, this is video number 5 in that series. It is not super easy to do a video every day, as I'm learning relatively quickly amongst everything else you have to do in your daily life, but I am going to stick with it, again, all for a good cause. So today, what I want to talk about is my motovlogging setup, and I've made a couple adaptations to that in the last couple days as I'm trying to streamline workflow so that I'm not spending 3-4 hours a day on editing videos. Typically my average video does probably require, well, not require, but I require I'd say about 3 hours, a good healthy 3 hours of editing. And I don't always do it in one shot. Sometimes it might be 2-3 days worth of an hour here or there of jumping in the office to edit and then putting the video out. I try to keep on you know, one a week sort of routine. So what I've done with this series basically is switched cameras out on the bars. Typically what you'll see is my GoPro Max 360 camera up on the bars, and the reason why I enjoy that camera so much is because it gives you infinite camera angles, so you can kind of be a little more lazy on framing up shots and capture everything in that 360 environment. Now the problem with that is that, just so you guys are aware, I edit on a 2015 MacBook Pro. I bought that back when I first thought that YouTube was something that I might want to get into, and I've been working with it ever since. But with those larger 360 files, it just crushes that computer. That computer can handle the 1080p stuff just fine, and even 2K stuff just fine, but it does slow it down quite a bit. Let me jump off here and get some gas. 41.1 miles per gallon. Not too shabby. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, my MacBook Pro. She's getting old, but yeah, she can handle the 1080p files just fine, and because some of the larger files do get difficult for it to render, I for this purpose of trying to get a video out a day, I took the Hero Max off the bars and put the GoPro Hero9 actually shooting back at me. It's actually pretty cool being able to see yourself framed up in the shot. Not super important for this type of filming, because once you shoot one motovlog you kind of know whether you're in frame or not, but still nice to have. And then the GoPro on the helmet here, that is a GoPro Hero7 that I've actually dedicated to this setup, really. I just leave it on here because it works really well. I think the video quality is awesome. The stabilization is fine. It's not a GoPro Hero9, but doesn't have to be. And I'm kind of a big fan of just the audio adapter setup as it sits on that camera. So I kind of wish it didn't exist at all, but the alternative is a much larger case here with the GoPro Hero9 up on the bars. No matter what you do, even if you have that media mod on the Hero9, you still end up with a pretty large setup. So in my opinion, there's no winning going to the 9 for that type of setup. And if the camera were to fall off the helmet, you know, if that 3M tape broke loose, I'd be much more comfortable with the Hero7 hitting the ground than I would the Hero9. I can already read the comments of, well, you have the 9 up on the bars and it could fall. That is true, but this is temporary. This is just through November, and this mount is pretty damn solid. I actually have a new one of these rickrack mounts coming, and I'm going to add another camera angle in a couple days. The way that I film these videos is 1080p both ways to be able to do it quickly. If I'm editing a normal video, again, 4K 360, or I'm sorry, 5K 360 up on the bars, 2K pointing forward, and I can live with having to you know, take an hour or two to import and transcode files prior to editing on a normal basis. But in 1080 I can basically load these video files into Final Cut Pro and have them ready to edit within 20 minutes and kind of rock and roll with it. The audio setup that I use into this GoPro Hero7 that I have with the audio adapter, I just found this, I think it's called like J-Mic. I'll link it here, I'll put a screenshot here. Basically it's a no-name unidirectional microphone from Amazon, super cheap, but I kind of like the quality, the sound quality and the reliability. I've been motovlogging with this thing now for a year and a half. This microphone went all the way to Texas and back for the Bring It Home ride, and it went through rainstorms, terrible weather, cold weather. It's been in the helmet forever, and it just works. So I haven't switched it up. Actually, I pulled this out of my old RFSR helmet and put it into this RF 1200, and I just run it right up here in the chin, and it works out great. So one thing I will say for anybody looking to get into YouTube videos, don't get hung up on spending a ton of money on your camera and forget about audio, because audio is super important. A lot of people dip out of videos if they think the audio is garbage. So I would actually, you know, again, this is my opinion, steer you towards a cheaper, older GoPro, because all of the ones on the market now are still absolutely incredible cameras, and you really can't go wrong with them. We're locking up brakes up here, tractor trailer. Oh, it stinks so bad. Whew! Tastes like rubber. So, you know, the editing process actually becomes pretty simple. A lot of it just comes down to file sizes and your computer's ability to render those file sizes. So that is really my editing workflow, my motovlogging setup. You know, relatively simple, pretty common setup. Not super cheap, but also not the most expensive thing to get into. If you're looking to get into like motovlogging in general, I would almost argue buying like a GoPro Hero 5, if you can find one on eBay or something like that. Throw it up in your helmet, pay for the mic adapter, throw it in the helmet, only have one camera angle, put out 20-30 videos, and then kind of see where you're at from there. And if you start to grow and want to add more cameras and can afford it, go for it. But I think a lot of people look at this stuff and assume they need to have all of this, and you know, you don't. Stuff that I've grown into over the years. I've been doing this for a minute, and the more you do it, the more you kind of want to start adding stuff. But slow and steady is kind of my whole thing with YouTube channels. You know, that'll be maybe in a whole nother video in and of itself about my advice about starting up YouTube channels. A lot of people have this bug to do it, and then either set their expectations way too high off the get-go, or kind of scare themselves out of the work part of it to begin with. So again, I think that might be a whole different video in and of itself. Again, guys, this is video number 5 for my motovlogging for Movember series. The link is in the description right below this video, or if you're on your PC, off to the right hand side, and you can donate $5, 20 bucks, or even hit the other button and $1. Whatever you can do, I would appreciate it. I'm trying my absolute hardest to represent the motovlogging community, I guess you'd say, the best that I can, and a bit of a fundraiser here for Movember, Men's Health, and just kind of see what kind of damage I can do in terms of a fundraiser. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel, and and I will see you guys tomorrow.